with family therapist Jane Marks. Good morning to you, Jane.
Good morning, Kelly.
So glad to have you here. September is actually National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, and that kind of brings up a lot of questions for a lot of health issues that are facing kids and teenagers and preteens out there, and you may deal with them a lot as families come into your office saying, hey, where do I begin with some of these health issues?
Right. I think so many times parents will refer teens because of self-esteem issues and because of bullying issues, and that's how we have, or physicians will refer them. I think because it is certainly a national question, and believe it or not, it actually tops substance abuse for some parents. But what we need to know about this is that it is a precursor to high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol issues. And so for parents, it behooves them to talk with their doctors about the definition itself. You know, whether or not a child is experiencing that. Sometimes it's a body pound issue, but sometimes it's a health condition. And so until all health conditions are cleared, then we start to weigh in on the issue. So now, where do parents start? We always start with having the conversation. If there's going to be a weight plan, I think it is important for parents to have that conversation so that the teen is involved and engaged in that process. If a parent comes in and says, you know what, which is what I typically hear, you're going to go on a diet, it's almost a recipe for failure. I think for parents at home, the issue of encouraging eating healthy, recipes, fruits and vegetables. But I'll tell you the number one issue that I see among teenage girls. Whenever I do an initial interview, I'll ask them about their eating habits, and I'll say, do you eat breakfast? 70% of most teenage girls simply do not eat breakfast. So for parents, you want to start with small changes, getting a little something in the morning. We encourage protein. Exercise certainly is a big component for a lot of kids. It's a sedentary issue, and while I like to recommend 40 minutes to 45 minutes of exercise a day, for parents where this is an issue, you start simply with 10 minutes a day. Now, parents, it's important that you also look at your own lifestyle. Lifestyle and cultural issues sometimes play a big role in weight management. And so, you want to take a look at, what are your lifestyle issues and what kinds of things do you have in your home, in terms of options. Now, parents, expect imperfection among teenagers. There are so many false starts with this, and particularly if this has been a lifelong problem. Parents oftentimes want to take control, micromanage this issue. Again, engage your teenagers. Now, with the idea of eating at home, that is such a crucial part of this. See, for us, we do everything in such fast paces, and so eating at home, smaller meals, that's also a huge part of this management. I think, to the extent that we also finally look at focusing on body image issues. I think there's so many women out there where plus size is a very positive thing. So if we talk about body image and focus on that, we're talking about establishing a success track record for at least approaching this issue. And so I think while this is a month to take a look at this, let's look at it from a different perspective. Right. And I think it means certainly more success in that area.
Especially too, as teens are going to be preparing maybe in a couple years, a couple short months to go off on their own. We've always heard the freshman 15 because they're responsible for themselves and their own meals, and they feel like, hey, maybe I got no rules. So hey, so if some of these ideas are in place already.
If you adopt some of these changes, certainly in high school, and as a family approach it, I think the question came from a woman who had 2 children who had the issue and 2 didn't. So we also have to factor in, how does genetics play a role in all of this? It's an interesting issue to tackle, and I think it's one that we're going to be looking at for a long, long time, but certainly can be done in a very positive, healthy, wholesome way.
Yeah, if you can think of it as a lifestyle change instead of a diet, you're going to be set off for the future. Jane, thank you so much. We always appreciate your advice, and even more of it can be found online at WTXL.tv. Don't go away. We are back in just 2 minutes.